And we're live!
Hey everyone.
Hey, everybody. We already got a couple people in here. Ariana, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Carla,
Hola. Hey
wash
Carla.
hands. Always important. Alfred, hey, thanks for showing up.
Hey.
Oh, and I just got a million bajillion Facebook notifications that we're live right now.
Ooh. Did I get one? What do you know? Live. We're live. Hey, we're live.
Hey,
I'm
Michael.
Michael.
Rodney, what's
Michael
up?
tweets he helps promote our podcast every single Sunday. Thank you. That the check for 0.000002 is in the mail.
So kind. So
Hey
nice.
Rodney.
Drew,
Drew.
hey.
The
How
usual
was
gang.
how was everyone's week this week? I hope it was good.
Yes. It's been I think for everyone it was a long and stressful
Oh my
week.
God. That's
I
the
think it
understatement
was
of the year right there.
yeah. It was in the year that you didn't think that like you could pile on more drama.
Right?
we found a way.
The
2020
year
finds a way.
the year of 6 months of March brought us a week's worth of Tuesdays. So that was great. Oh my goodness, we have 89 people
Ooh,
in here. Holy crap. Okay. I guess we'll get started then.
let's do it.
All right, in three, two. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 60 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Brittany,
And I'm Seth.
and we're here to talk to you about the latest and greatest theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. So, Seth, other than the obvious, how have you been this week?
I had a fantastic week. In theme park world, I got to go to the Magic Kingdom and see some of their new holiday decorations. I More importantly, I got to see the Dapper Dans perform again for the first time in what felt like forever, and they were one of the elements of the Magic Kingdom that I was really missing. So great seeing that again, and looking forward to the upcoming refurbishment of the Hall of Presidents for sure. But the big news in my life is I went out last night and bought a brand new car.
Whoa.
It's my first new car in 11 years. Of course, I had to get the exact same make and model and color as my last cars, because otherwise I would never find it in the Magic Kingdom parking lot. But now I have all the spiffy bells and whistles to connect to my phone. I no longer have a CD player, but I no longer have CDs. So hey,
Welcome
it's
to the future.
exactly. It was pretty awesome.
That's so great.
How about your week?
Well, I stayed up a lot. I don't think I slept very much.
A lot
uh,
of us. Yep.
a lot of us. Yeah. I watched a couple movies that
Oop.
are not out yet.
Oh.
Some work things. I can't say what I thought, but I got to watch Soul, the new Pixar film,
Oh, jealous, jealous, jealous.
and and the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, even more jealous.
So keep an eye on attractionsmagazine.com. My thoughts and probably more coverage. I have a press event to virtually attend next week. So you can
Ooh.
see those things. I don't know who's going to be there. The email that I got said TBD for both time and attendees. So
It's 2020. Everything is TBD.
everything is TBD.
Everything is TBD.
I got a confirmed delivery date for my PlayStation 5 that ships
Ooh.
this week. I'm supposed to get it by Thursday. Um, Thursday,
Fingers crossed for you.
yeah. Josh took the Friday off so he could spend the whole day playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. So I'll get to work and watch him do that all day.
Well, I am awaiting the delivery of my iPhone 12
Ooh.
Pro Max,
Oh my
and my wife's iPhone
goodness.
12 Mini. Oh, okay. So yeah, I will be awaiting that on the 13th, and I'll be camping out on my doorstep waiting for the delivery truck, just like you will be for your PS5.
Yeah. I'm so, so, so excited.
Yeah.
After this week, that's like the icing on top of my
Mm-hmm.
2020.
Yep. Really, you need some consumerism to
Right?
soothe your soul after this
We also
this
started
year.
Christmas decorations because
my
this.
my my neighbors, both next to me and across the street, both had elaborate Halloween decorations, and on November 1st, it went up elaborate Christmas decorations, and we've still got a pumpkin on our front step. We're we'll get around to Christmas sometime after Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
With this year, anything goes. The rules are out the window. But without any further ado, let's get into the news. Sorry if that was a little loud for you,
That
headphones.
makes me so happy now.
First up, over in the UK, Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter, has temporarily closed for COVID-19. And it's pretty unfortunate because literally the week before that they announced this, they said that they were bringing Christmas in the Wizarding World back, the exhibit and everything.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I'm sure they put a lot of work into prepping that seasonal event that's not going to happen now. At least everyone who purchased tickets, they're gonna get refunds or going to be able to use the tickets later.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a sign that COVID is not under control in Europe. We're seeing more and more places overseas that had opened and closed and reopened and now closing again. So.
Yeah. The studio tour closed at 8 p.m. back on November 4th, and they anticipate to reopen on December 3rd, but that depends on what the government decides to do over there. So here's hoping.
Yeah.
Hong Kong Disneyland announced an opening date for the Castle of Magical Dreams, finally, November 21st. So excited.
So I'm curious to know your take on this castle. It's interesting. If you haven't seen the concept art, imagine the original original Sleeping Beauty castle at Disneyland, and then stack a pile of Lego bricks to build a giant castle on top of it. I mean, I'm sure it will look fully integrated in person. But the photos I've seen, I don't know, they're kind of jarring if you know what it used to look like, huh?
I've gone through a series of phases.
You've gone through stages of grief over this.
Stages of acceptance of this castle.
Yeah.
At first, I hated it. I was like, this is the ugliest castle I've ever seen. Why did they mix so many different types of architecture into one structure? And then I think it was Chris from TDR Explorer went to Hong Kong Disneyland after they had taken off most of the scaffolding, showed what it looked like in person. I was like, okay. I can kind of get behind this. I think it definitely looks better in person than it photographs. So
I'll hold off from my trip there.
Yeah.
In 2020, never. But I do think it's interesting that they've added an audio tour of the castle. So there's an attraction of sorts inside. I'm sure it's not going to be quite as elaborate as the old mystery tour in the Tokyo Castle, RIP.
I've watched that one video that exists of it so many times. I wish it was still a thing because that would be so cool. But if you guys are planning on traveling to Hong Kong Disneyland once it is safe to, tell us what you think of the castle because she's definitely different.
Yep. Well, we can't diss it too much because all of the guests' hopes and dreams and wishes are stored in a treasure chest up on the top floor.
Oh, yeah.
And we wouldn't want to disparage anyone's wishes or dreams.
No, we support all wishes and dreams.
Absolutely.
Over at Epcot, they have installed the Remys Ratatouille Adventure attraction sign. It
is bright. It is bold.
Yep.
It's you're definitely not going to miss the entrance to this attraction. That's for sure.
Nope.
I'm curious to see what it looks like lit up at night.
The top and the bottom fonts are certainly a choice.
Well, it's kind of it's the Montmartre font used in old Belle Epoque subway stations around the metro stations around Paris, but with that color and then up against the Ratatouille font, yeah, it's a little messy.
Yeah, see, I don't mind it here. I think it's
Right.
just like the mac and cheese color that is like throwing me off. And then on top
That's
of the
Borson. That's
box,
Borson. That's
I'm,
fancy mac and
I'm
cheese.
getting Kraft mac and cheese vibes off of this sign here. But you can see the signage now when you're riding in the gondolas behind
Yeah.
Paris.
Those
So
those
that's
skyliners really give you a great preview of that expansion. It really shows off how
Mhm.
big it is. There's a lot of walking space back there compared to what there is in the original pavilion.
I can't wait until this thing opens.
Yeah.
And the crepe
I
place.
want to see if the line for crepes at Epcot or anything like the line for crepes at Universal Studios Florida, they're gonna need all that room for the people waiting for crepes for sure.
We're gonna need to do like a battle of the crepes where we get one from
I,
both parks and then taste test.
all right, I volunteer for that episode.
And Matt, if you're listening, Battle of the Crepes is happening. Universal Orlando has announced a new grand opening
Yes.
for Endless Summer Dockside Inn and Suites. It was originally scheduled to open back on March 17th, but we all know what happened that week. And the resort will now open on December 15th. This is Universal's newest value hotel, and it's the sister property to Surfside Inn and Suites.
I really enjoyed my stay at Surfside when it opened, and I'm looking forward to staying here and checking this hotel out because I think between the two of them, they kind of changed what I expect out of a value hotel. They're for the price. I can't recommend staying anywhere else on iDrive or off property if you're going to Universal.
Yeah, Universal has really stepped up the game for value
Hmm.
hotels. I
Yeah.
forget Cabana Bay is a value all the time because
Can
it's
also,
so nice.
I can also vouch for the food court, at least at the Surfside Inn, and I'm sure Pier 8 is going to be real similar in that you can get a full meal for like 10, $12, and that's a lot less than you'd spend inside the theme parks, which is nice compared to the prices you pay at like Art of Animation.
And then a suite for 120 per night,
Yeah.
4 nights. That's insane.
Yeah.
And it looks so nice. I really like the green color palette. It's very soft, relaxing. I would definitely stay here if I needed to.
Absolutely. And in other Universal Hotel news, they are also reopening the Portofino Bay on the
Yay!
1st of December, which that's exciting. I'm glad that means that enough of the upscale traffic is coming back to make it worthwhile. It's, if nothing else, it's great news for the employees of Lowe's who get to go back to work. So really excited about, Universal slowly getting back up to full speed. The water park probably needed a few months of rehab. It's been rode hard since it opened, and it could use a break. But it looks like the rest of the parks are, everything's slowly coming back to full speed.
My bucket list wish for Volcano Bay when it reopens is a Halloween Spooky Island overlay. I know that would never happen, but in my dreams, it does. One of these days. Over at Disneyland, for all you California people, Buena Vista Street is reopening to guests for shopping and dining on November 19th. They're technically calling this an extension of downtown Disney district, so you won't be able to do any of the rides or see any characters, I would imagine, but you'll get to go shop in the stores and eat at the various restaurants in that area, kind of going almost towards Soarin' with smoke jumpers.
Smoke Jumpers is included, and Award Wieners is included, and so that's heading down Hollywood. So it's a good chunk, and they've also been opening one of the sound stages behind Hollywood as a store, and they've had the access to that from the downtown Disney side. But I'm wondering if that will also maybe be included. It's a pretty sizable chunk of the park. Obviously, no rides or anything, but I'm sure people are just eager to spend money at a Disney park.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pent up demand, as we've seen from the waits just to get into World of Disney there. The interesting thing, I think, thing that's kind of riled people up on social media is that they're charging for parking, even for annual pass holders. If you want to park in the downtown Disney lot, you're going to have to pay. I believe it's going to be $10.
Yes.
And while
$10.
that's not a huge amount of money, but it's enough to annoy annual pass holders. And we'll see if it's enough to limit attendance, because I think if they just said it's free for all, they would just be swamped.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, based on, because I watch a lot of Disneyland theme park vloggers, and they are
mhm.
like foaming at the mouth to get back into this park.
Yeah.
So I know, like, November 19th, they are just gonna like,
It's going to be ugly. People are going to camp out.
yeah. But for specifics on what's being offered, Carthay Circle Restaurant will open Carthay Circle Lounge for alfresco dining outside. Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe, I believe that's the Starbucks location.
Yes.
And award winners, as we said, Smoke Jumpers Grill. And then for retail, they're going to open Elias and Company, Julius Katz and Sons, Kingswell Camera Shop, and Trolley Treats for your churro and pretzel
All right.
needs. Because
So it sounds like that soundstage in Hollywood will not be included. So maybe they'll continue operating that with the external entrance, because I know that was pretty popular.
Because I think I've only been to Disneyland once, so my memory may not serve me, but I'm pretty sure all of those retail spaces are connected to each other, like how it
Correct. Yeah, that's kind of the main
Hollywood.
street.
Yeah.
Yeah, the emporiums of Buena Vista Street. Exactly.
So if you're going, be prepared to spend $10 to park there.
Yes, and also be prepared to wait. I'm sure they're
Yep.
going to have a socially distant queue, and probably also a digital text message wait return system,
Yes.
because they're going to have to control attendance in there. So yeah, be prepared.
Our thoughts and support are with you if you decide
Yes,
to go.
thoughts and prayers.
This really cool thing happened last week. Imagineer site portfolio executive Zach Ridley, who is the king of sharing us stuff on Instagram, showed
Yep.
out a photo of the ride vehicles for Cosmic Rewind that's coming to Epcot. And we've seen these before. Disney put a video out last year kind of showing how the vehicles move on their track and how they will turn you towards the action as you're on the coaster. But this is the first time we've seen them in rows and on
Mhm.
actual coaster track. And
Yeah.
turns out they have their own unique burn marks and infliction points and scuffs and all these sorts of things to make each one feel unique.
Yeah, it's a neat little touch that's sort of inspired by what NASA shuttles looked like after they come back from re-entry. What I found interesting about that photo is that we can see 2 cars per train unwrapped, but then we can see additional cars that are in the background wrapped. And it looks to me like each train is going to have 4 cars. It's possible that it's 3, but it looks to me like that middle one has 4 cars. So that gives us maybe a little hint of what the capacity is going to be like on this ride. I think it's interesting. They're sort of similar to Gringotts trains in the way that they will be able to rotate forward and backwards. But there are only 2 people across instead of 4, so it looks like it's going to make it a more intimate ride with maybe capable of some tighter turns.
I just want to see something. Because we've seen the concept art of Groot and Rocket in the
Mhm.
queue, but we don't know what this show coaster is going to be like in
Right.
theory. I just want to see something.
Yeah, it's funny. The only, the clearest leak we've had about what the ride is actually about was on the monorail spiel, where for a while they were saying that the ride involves us going back to witness the Big Bang. So it's a time travel idea, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the rumors of the big launch at the beginning being a backwards launch.
Oh man.
So
Well, let's hope it will open sometime soon. I would not expect this to open in time for the 50th next year with everything that's happened.
I think Remy is going to be Epcot's big addition for 2021, and I don't know. It's going to be a question of whether they focus on Tron first or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But I think that one is going to have to take precedence over the other.
Yep. Universal has already started the holidays. They kicked Horror Nights to the curb, and they've revealed all of their socially distant modified offerings for this holiday season. Starts on November 14th and runs through January 3rd, 2021, and includes a lot of your favorites, but modified to be safer in these times. Over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you can see performances from both the Frog Choir and Celestina Warbeck and her Banshees. But I assume they will be wearing masks like the Frog Choir has been doing in the past. Mike?
When I've seen Celestina, they've reblocked the shows so everyone is 6 feet away from each other and then elevated and away from the audience when they're unmasked. So, and Beetle the Bard, I believe they use masks for that one. But they've reblocked all those shows to be socially distanced, and I'm sure they're going to do the same with the Christmas versions.
And then Hot Butterbeer returns.
Yes,
so
the best part of Christmas. Oh my God, been missing it so much.
Can I give a what you call it, an unpopular opinion?
You don't like it, huh?
No, I tried it. I think it was during a holiday parade a couple of years ago, and I tried it and immediately gave it to someone else. I was like, "This is gross." I'm sorry.
I describe it to people as a vanilla chai latte without the chai. And if that sounds good to you, then great. But if not,
I love chai.
Everyone has to find their own butterbeer. There's a butterbeer out there for everyone, except the butterbeer fudge. The butterbeer fudge is not for everyone.
I haven't tried that, but I've definitely done the ice cream and the frozen. The frozen butterbeer is my jam.
Yeah, frozen is the best. When I can't, here's the secret to the hot. You also got to get a shot of fire whiskey, and when the barkeeper isn't looking, you just pour it in there, because that really pisses a certain author off. But do it.
Yeah. Anyway. Who cares what she thinks?
Exactly.
Over in Seuss Landing, you can see the Grinch and the Who's make holiday appearances. For the balloons, the Macy's balloons, instead of a parade this year, they are doing Universal's Holiday Experience featuring Macy's balloons at Universal Studios Florida.
That's a mouthful.
Isn't it? All of these balloons shows are always a mouthful. So basically, they're going to be show stops with parades and the balloons. You'll be able to take socially distant photos. You'll get to see characters from franchises like Despicable Me, Shrek, and Madagascar, and you'll get to see Santa Claus as well. So I hope you're on the nice list if he sees you.
So it's impressive how similar this lineup is to the Halloween Horror Light that they just finished doing. We had a Halloween tribute store. Now we've got a Christmas tribute store. The setup with the balloons, the walkthrough sounds an awful lot like a outdoor haunted house or scare zone with balloons. I'm kind of all for it. To be honest, it's a lot more entertainment than Disney is rolling out right now in the Magic Kingdom, I feel like. I'm a little disappointed that, considering that they have these huge stadiums going empty in IOA, the Toon Lagoon Stadium, the Sinbad Stadium, I'm a little disappointed they couldn't figure out a way to do a socially distanced Grinch musical, because I love that musical. But at least they will have the characters making appearances. Ditto for the light show on Hogwarts Castle. I really love the Christmas version of the
Oh
nighttime
yeah,
lights,
it's
but
so.
it just, it gathers such a crowd. And even if you ran it every 15 minutes, there'd still be just throngs of people standing. So I totally get why they're doing what they're doing. And I'm kind of happy that they're able to do as much as they are.
Yeah, even though a lot of it has been modified, it still feels like a plentiful
Yeah,
holiday experience. Like I don't feel like I'm getting shorted if I spend money to go to this.
yeah. And
Uh,
it's all included in your ticket. So it's another reason for annual pass holders, or especially those people who bought the buy one day and get the rest of the year free, to get them to come out. So I would expect weekends at Universal to stay busy. I've heard that they are adding the cinematic spectacular on Saturday nights back as a regular thing.
oh, good.
Because yeah, parks staying open past sunset. For that's a big thing for Universal.
It's weird.
It's not often that the Universal parks stay open later than the Disney parks, but that's happening now.
Can we talk about this tribute store facade? Just
It's kind of terrifying. I always found the Nutcracker to be a creepy ballet, and that's kind of nightmare fuel right there.
I don't like that you have to go through his mouth to get in.
I think that's scarier than the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store facade.
Next year, do a Nutcracker haunted house only for Seth and make him go through it.
No, no, no.
Holiday things are also happening at Magic Kingdom and the rest of Walt Disney World. Our friend Theron got to go cover it all for us. You can check out the video on our YouTube channel. But there's a lot going on, not as much character interaction as Universal per se. They do have a ton of cavalcades happening. There is a Goofy themed cavalcade, one with the Disney princesses with their winter wear, which I thought was really cool. Mickey's holiday cavalcade featuring Mickey, Minnie, and some of their other friends. Santa Claus, of course, and then the Toy Soldiers make an appearance with the Main Street Philharmonic, which I thought was nice.
Yeah, that was great to see.
I love marching bands, so that I'm just glad that they're back.
And I'm actually, I'm really a fan of these cavalcades not having to stand around, claiming curb space for an hour to get a good view of a parade.
Amen.
Just, the only bummer is that they kind of run in a cycle, and if you, for whatever reason, happen to miss one of them, it can be kind of a while, and the cast members can't really tell you exactly when they're going to come back out again. So if you want to catch them all, you got to invest a little bit of time looking for them.
Yeah. They've also decided to do projection mapping on the castle. So instead of the holiday fireworks that we were supposed to get, we have these different kind of vignettes. They're different designs to serve as backdrops for your holiday photos. They look really cool. I like them. I understand that we can't have fireworks and nighttime spectaculars right now, but maybe one of these days. And as a surprise that no one expected, the Muppets.
This was awesome. I'm so glad that they pulled them out for this. We've gone too long without the Muppets. We need them.
We always need the Muppets, but they're wearing cute little Christmas like bow ties and vests and things, and they're so cute. They do not speak, but they will gesture and wave to the crowd and interact silently. But I'm just glad that they brought them back out, because puppeteers are such an important part of Disney entertainment.
Absolutely.
Good to see them getting work.
If they want to stage a mutiny and take over the Hall of Presidents next door, that's okay.
Could you imagine
all right.
the Hall of Presidents? Oh man.
I can definitely imagine that.
That's what we deserve it. We deserve Muppets Hall of Presidents. Over at Animal Kingdom, they've got some seasonal decor up, and they have their flotillas going through Discovery River with Donald and his Dino Bash friends, Chip and Dale, and the Discovery Island drummers, and Santa Claus is also making an appearance on those as well.
I also noticed that the Tree of Life projections were back on the schedule. I
Oh,
don't
good.
know if that was just a momentary glitch in the app when I looked earlier, or
Oh,
hopefully that means that, because that's really one of my favorite seasonal after dark things about Animal Kingdom. There were a lot of stuff that they added to try to keep people at Animal Kingdom past sunset. Many of them are gone, like Rivers of Light, but those Tree of Life projections were probably the best addition that they did.
I do love those Tree of Life projections. Speaking of projections, over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the Hollywood Tower Hotel becomes the Hollywood Holiday Hotel. And guests can see the projections that they know from Sunset Season's Greetings, but without the music, I believe. I think it's just the show. Yeah, I've seen conflicting reports about this. Disney didn't specify. Um,
You don't want to, you want to provide some sort of visual interest without creating something that's so compelling that people are going to stop and create a crowd.
right.
So that's a delicate balancing act. I imagine that they're out there watching the crowd flow every night and deciding, exactly what they can and can't do. It might be a little fluid for the first few nights.
And for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing along celebration will add back in the seasonal end tag with Olaf. I believe he sings a song from the holiday short. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
I have still not been able to get into this show since it reopened. Every time I figure, half hour should be plenty of time, but nope, not even close. I'm going back next Tuesday. Let's
Do it.
We'll hope.
See Olaf.
See.
And then at Disney Springs, instead of the Christmas tree trail, they have made it the Christmas tree stroll and have spread out the trees throughout the destination to encourage physical distancing, but still give you a chance to see all these cool trees.
That's really smart.
Yeah, I actually prefer it this way, I think. Going through the tree trail always stressed me out because it was always slammed and crowded.
Mm-hmm.
It provides the same experience, just a bit more spread out. And I hope.
And for positive for Disney, it makes you walk through more of Disney Springs and see more of their retailers.
Yep. And then Epcot will, of course, be hosting Taste of Epcot International Festival of Holidays starting November 27th. And
We could do a whole show talking about the food on this one.
Yeah, the food is insane. They've released all the menus for the holiday kitchens. Please go check it out. I highly encourage it. There's so many good food options this year. You have to do it. Okay, now, before we get to our last news in the queue topic of the day, we have a special guest who wanted to do something that we used to do on the show back when this aired on Disney Plus. So, without any further ado,
drum roll, please.
Let's see.
Nope. Oh.
All right, my friends.
The professor of theme park economics. He's here to teach you something. Mr. Banks, please.
Y'all gonna learn a thing or two. This is basic theme park economics. Basic theme park economics. This is basic theme park economics.
Class is in session.
Hello, everyone.
I've learned how to do things since you left.
Very fancy, Brittany. I love it.
We're all high tech.
To the show, Mr. Banksley.
It's so good to see you again.
It's good to see both of y'all. Good to see everyone in the chat. Hello, everyone. It's been a minute.
It certainly has. I feel like I need to tweet out that you're here.
Please. Hello. Hey, Kat.
We'll make small talk while she's tweeting.
Do what?
Make some small talk.
Hi.
So, what'd you have for dinner?
Oh, we went to Outback. It was nice.
Ooh.
In town, so.
Did you get the Outback special? I always get the Outback special.
I'm a cheese fries guy, so that's what I got.
Ooh.
I want to give a shout out real quick, though. Michael, Rodney, Figment, Alfred there, everyone, the usuals in the chat. I'm glad to see y'all still here. Good to see y'all here.
Yes, every week.
We have such loyal listeners that when you left and I came in, they actually stayed. We're not sure why, but probably just hoping for this day when you would return.
And just so you guys know how it was arranged, I literally just texted Banks. It was like, what do I have to do to get you on the show? He was like, nothing, anytime. And that was how it happened. So here we are. We're back. And before we get into the main attraction for this week, I wanted to do a recap of the most recent episode, Chapter 10 of The Mandalorian, which Seth hasn't watched yet.
At this point, I'm going to take my earplugs out.
Oh.
Bye.
You can't hear us now, so we can talk about him.
Yes, okay.
I can still hear you a little.
Oh, whoops.
All right. Well, let me give you a quick recap of the episode. It was called The Passenger. And returning from Mos Pelgo, the Mandalorian subdues bandits who attempt to capture the child. His speeder bike destroyed, the Mandalorian walks back to Mos Eisley, finding Peli Motto playing cards with Dr. Mandible, an ant person, who has information about Mandalorians. The Mandalorian must transport a passenger, the Frog Lady, canonically that's her name, to an estuary moon called Trask, where her husband will fertilize her eggs and has information about other Mandalorians. Her spawn are fragile and must be transported at sublight speeds despite the risk of being attacked by pirates. The child surreptitiously eats some of the eggs. They encounter New Republic patrol, and the Razor Crest is forced to flee to a nearby planet and hide in an ice canyon. They don't say what planet this is, but I wonder. The ship crashes through the ice and is severely damaged. The Mandalorian wants to wait until morning to make repairs due to the extreme cold. The Frog Lady uses the severed head of the droid Q90 to translate and says that they cannot wait, admonishing the Mandalorian for breaking his word as he reluctantly begins repairs. Later, they find the Frog Lady in a nearby hot water pool bathing with her eggs. The Mandalorian warns it is not safe and collects the eggs. The child explores the ice cave, finding another kind of egg, which he eats. Nearby eggs hatch, and soon the cave is filled with white spiders of various sizes. They are chased by a cluster of spiders, and a giant one attacks. With the spiders surrounding them from all sides, they make it to the ship's cockpit. A spider climbs onto the child, but the Frog Lady vaporizes it with a tiny, tiny blaster. As they take off, a giant spider attacks the ship, trapping them. Blaster fire kills the spiders, with the X-Wing pilots revealed to have found them. There is an arrest warrant on the Mando for freeing a dangerous prisoner, and they also note that the Mandalorian can find 3 other criminals and defended the prison guard, and so they are willing to overlook the incident. The Mandalorian asks for help, but they leave warning that next time they may vaporize his ship. He finishes the repairs, and the severely damaged ship continues its journey. The passenger and the Mandalorian fall asleep, and the child has somehow sneaked another egg, which he happily gulps down, and that is the end of the episode. It was a lot.
It was definitely wasn't one of those plot-driven episodes. Definitely kind of one of those filler episodes, but still a lot packed into it that kept you on your toes. Really, first off, Peyton Reed directing the episode and having an ant creature, perfect. Dr. Mandible, I love Dr. Mandible.
When are we going to get a Black Series Dr. Mandible?
Yes.
I need it.
But you got ants, you got frogs, you got spiders. This was a really insect heavy kind of. I know frog's not an insect, but you know what I mean. A lot of creature driven with this episode, which I really loved. Because I think, correct me if I'm mistaken here, but Dr. Mandible and the Frog Lady are creatures we've never seen before, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
The spiders, however, there is a type of spider, I forget the name, but they sell toys of it in Galaxy's Edge. But this is different. Phil Sostak, he's like a concept person over at Lucasfilm, said that they're based on the same spiders that the spiders that already exist are based on from art from Ralph McQuarrie, but that they are different. It's a different species.
Yeah.
So
all in all, we weren't here last week to talk about the first episode, but the first episode was this whole season. I'm in it to win it. This show is just so much fun. And I just love the kind of horror elements to this episode. Like the spiders generally freaked me out.
I was like screaming like, oh my God, the entire time. It felt very genre heavy. It felt like Alien, but Star Wars. And I was so here for that.
It makes me wonder if each episode this season is going to have a very genre specific element to it. Because obviously the first one, very heavily Western feel to it. This one, very heavily like sci-fi horror. So I'm wondering if that's what they're kind of going with this season, or if it's just kind of like the first few episodes, and then once they get into the plot, it'll just kick off and go into high gear.
I want to know what Robert Rodriguez's episode is going to be like.
Oh my gosh, I forgot he's doing one.
Yeah, he's doing one. And then we're like this much closer to getting Quentin Tarantino to do an episode.
That would be amazing.
They're keeping very, very mum about the course of this series. Like the press stuff. When I get the emails, there are no episode descriptions or titles with them. It's just the same episode description for every single episode.
It definitely feels like each episode is going to have some sort of big reveal or big moments. Obviously, I would say this one didn't really have well, if you want to consider the X-Wing pilots to be kind of like a big deal, because, you know, X-Wings, and one of the pilots was a return of Dave Filoni, who was the main pilot in the first season. So that character returning back and talking about the New Republic, so kind of building upon that. They were basically just space cops.
It was really weird to see the New Republic kind of painted in a negative kind of way, because the way that the show is structured, you want to root for Mando. You want to see him succeed in getting the child back to the Jedi or wherever he ends up taking them. And to see the New Republic kind of show up like cops and be like, hey, you're a bad guy. We're the good guys. It feels weird. And
it kind of builds upon what Rian Johnson touched upon in Last Jedi, where, you know, both sides are guilty of wrongdoings.
Yeah.
In terms of like when there are that one ship that like sold spaceships to both sides of the First Order and New Republic. So I kind of like. I know a lot of people don't really care for the democracy of Star Wars, and they just want to get into the fun plots and stuff. But I'm actually kind of digging the little instances that we are seeing, looking into the governments of how Star Wars, that universe is run.
Yeah, and I also love how this season in particular is really exploring the seedy underbelly of the galaxy, which a Gamorrean wrestling league. Come on, it's so
right
out there and crazy and so much fun. But speaking of the X-Wing pilots and the New Republic, I had a question that I've been thinking about. Would you be surprised if there was some kind of appearance from people we already know, besides those that have been rumored, like New Republic, like Leia or Han or Luke? Maybe not appearances, but like voices.
You know what? I don't know if they would go that direction. I mean, obviously, you know, spoilers. They freaking touched on Boba Fett in the first episode, so obviously anything's up in the air at this point. I'm not sure if they're going to deal with the main Skywalker saga characters or not. I don't think they would, but in a show that's got the Darksaber and Boba Fett now, like anything's possible.
Yeah. And then if the rumors are true, at any point now we could be seeing Sabine and or Ahsoka. There's probably some other people. I think Ezra, people want Ezra to be in the show, but there's only one person that can play Ezra, and it's Raul Coley from Haunting of Bly Manor.
I've never watched it, so I don't know.
You gotta watch it, but he's great, and he's like the Star Wars Twitter's fan cast for Ezra in live action.
Okay. Also, did you pick? I'm sure you picked up on the little Galaxy's Edge nod in the episode.
Oh God, remind me.
It wasn't like a name drop of a planet or of Batu or anything. It was showcasing how they were cooking the meats on the pod racing.
Oh yes, with the pod racing engine. I was like, oh, that was so cool. Yeah, I love that. I was like, I wish that they could put like real fire in the land to cook it instead of just like lights and stuff. That'd be so cool. But I really enjoyed it. I always find it difficult for a show that has a super great consistent first season to carry that momentum into season 2. But Mando kicked it off with a bang. Jon Favreau was flexing every move he had in his tool belt, and I can't wait to see what next week's episode brings us.
Yeah, they got the right team. Favreau and Filoni, like they are the right people to take charge of the show, and they've proven themselves that they can do a live action Star Wars show just as well as the movies are done.
Yep. All right, should we bring?
Let's bring Seth back.
You didn't listen to any of that, did you?
Not at all.
Good.
I saw you put your headphones in your ears.
I was just like kind of listening for my name, just sort of like just close enough so I could check in and say, okay, no, it's not time yet. So.
Cool.
You didn't spoil anything for me.
Okay, good. I would feel really bad.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
Not for that long. You'd feel bad for a very short period of time. Then you'd get over it.
But for this week's for this week's main attraction, I wanted to have Banks come on the show and tell us about the new fun holiday things happening at Legoland.
Yes. The holidays at Legoland Florida Resort are returning. So let's switch gears from fandom Banks to Legoland Banks here. For those who don't know, I am a spokesperson for Legoland Florida Resort. I'm the public relations and content manager for the resort. So we have holidays coming up this month. We are starting on the 27th, the day after Thanksgiving. And obviously, Brick or Treat for October was a huge hit for us. We had all new socially distanced candy stations because a lot of parks with their Halloween events and events in general this year can't go full force the way they have been. So we separated our Brick or Treat trail across the entire park, and we had these candy chutes with like PVC pipe that we threw the candy down that were 6 feet or more apart from the kids. Those were a huge hit. We had socially distant character meet and greets as well, stage shows with seating that were distant, and it was a huge success for us. We had a great turnout every weekend in October for Brick or Treat, and so we are very excited to start our holidays celebration on the 27th of November, and that is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in November, last week in November, and then Saturdays and Sundays in December until December 24th, and then it is every day until the 31st. We've got lots of fun, festive things in store for you guys this year. New for 2020, we have an all-new musical stage show called the Very Merry Mix-Up. So basically what is happening in the show is Mrs. Claus is crews of holiday helpers. They were going to find themselves in a delicious dilemma, alliteration, as they sing, dance, and work together through some fun, frosty fun in the new show. So I'm very excited for that because it's all new music, all new stage show, indoor stage show at our Legoland Funtown Theater. So you get out the heat, it's Florida. That's a great thing. Socially distanced seating as well. So I'm very excited to see guests enjoy this new show. Also, we have a brand new holiday village postal service, or guests or kids are going to be able to write letters to Santa and be able to put it in a mailbox and watch the letter fly to the North Pole. And it's going to be really, really cool. That is going to be a socially distant experience as well. And then new at our carousel, we have a 2-story carousel. We're going to be doing a nice little holiday sing-along. So those who are riding will be able to enjoy and do a little singing.
I can't wait to see the stage show. And as you can see, characters will be making appearances as well.
Yes.
Socially distant, of course.
That sounds like a great lineup. I got to see that show with the elves, and it's kind of like a slapstick comedy show last year.
Yeah, the
And,
North Pole nonsense.
Yes, and I'm happy that one's coming back because that
Yes.
one was a real surprise. I did not expect to enjoy that one so much.
Yeah, that one last year was in our Kingdom section, and we're moving it this year to the Lego City stage. So it's
Okay.
going to have a bigger stage, and it's going to be expanded
Excellent.
this year too. So some of the same stuff that you remember from last year, but a new little story to it, new characters as well, and new hijinks. So we're, very popular last year. We're excited to be able to expand that for this year's offering.
I'm personally really happy to see how much entertainment you guys are bringing in. Entertainers in the Orlando area really need work right now. So I'm glad that you've got so many that are still back at work.
Oh yeah, like our entertainment team has been in high gear through Brick or Treat and now getting ready for holidays. We're very happy with what they've been able to do in these times, both with our shows and with our character meet and greets. So you saw the photos there. We will have Lego Santa, we will have a Lego toy soldier, and a Lego gingerbread man. And then my personal favorite is Unikitty is going to be here in her holiday attire. She'll be meeting out in front of Lego Movie World. So there's really a lot for kids and families to see together. And even if they want to start new traditions, or just if you're annual pass holders, do what you've always been doing. There's so much to do here at Legoland Florida Resort.
What are you most excited about as a Lego fan? And I know the kids love Legoland.
Yes,
What
I
are
do.
you guys most excited to do?
For holidays, honestly, just kind of walking around. Our resort is going to be decked out with lights all over the place and music playing. Duplo Valley, which my son Oliver, it's his favorite area. That's going to be decked to the halls with lots of fun decor and lights. The rides there will have elements in there to see as well. The Lego Christmas tree is 30 feet tall. Every year, that's one of my favorite things, is just to see the lights light up on there and dancing to the music. And our Rockin' Around show will continue. It won't be like it has been in the past where it was like a 15, 20-minute show. We're going to have music playing intermediately throughout the nights, so we don't gather too big of a crowd. So like every 10 minutes or so, there'll be a couple-minute long show that'll happen, and then it'll rotate throughout the night. So that's one of the ways that we're keeping things safe and distant for guests who are visiting. So just seeing the lights, like I just love a good stroll around with music and lights. That's what I really love.
I got to ask, what should I look for in terms of treats? Any special holiday, especially is there a special holiday version of the apple fries?
The real kids.
So we do not have a special. We had one for a Brick or Treat, but we do not have any special apple fries. But I still
They don't need a special version.
Yeah,
The
you don't need
normal
a special
versions.
version. The apple fries are amazing as is. So highly recommend that. We do have some holiday treats that we will talk a little bit more about closer to the event, but we will have some specialty items available for guests for the event.
Now, here's my question. Are you able to mail me some of these delicious Lego treats?
They might melt. Maybe I had some refrigerated delivery packages. I'll be able to help you out there, but maybe I'll just take a photo of it and tell you how good it is, and I'll send it to you, Brittany.
Now that's just mean.
He'll write a letter to Santa asking for him to send you the treats.
There you go.
Then watch it on the screen as it flies off to the North Pole.
Exactly.
And then I know you guys are also doing Kids New Year's Eve again.
Yeah. Yes, we have our kids' New Year's Eve fireworks. It's this year, obviously, with everything going on, it's not going to be a week-long celebration like we've been able to do, but we will still have a party happening on New Year's Eve, December 31st. We're going to say goodbye to 2020. Sayonara. We're going to say hello to 2021, and we will have fireworks at the kid-friendly time of 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that families can enjoy a fun countdown, see the fireworks, and then be able to get home before bedtime. And it's always great to still be able to do fireworks. We were able to do fireworks back for the 4th of July. It was very popular. We were able to have spaced out viewing areas throughout the park, and that's how it's going to be for New Year's Eve as well. We won't have a centralized location. Anyone will be able to stand in certain areas around the park and be able to hear and see the fireworks and maybe pick up even some special glasses so the fireworks turn into Lego bricks.
Ooh, I always love those that make the prism effect that makes everything double and triple. That's
exactly
nifty.
I'm so glad you guys are doing fireworks because I think that's something I've sorely missed in addition
Yes.
to all the various entertainment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fireworks have been missing from the
Yep.
park experience. So
We're excited to be able to do some.
In my neighborhood, my neighbors made up for it on 4th of July, and the 3rd of July, and the 5th of July, and the 12th.
I'm sure
It would be nice to
we
see
are gonna have-
professional fireworks again.
right.
exactly.
And then we'll have to wrangle you back in here for 2021 so you can tell us all the details about what to expect. Because you have a lot.
I can give you a little preview right now of
Oh.
2021 because it's going to be a big year for Legoland Florida Resort. It is our 10th birthday.
Spill the beans.
Wow.
October 15th, 2011 was when we opened. So October 15th of next year, we are celebrating 10 years, and we are going to have a party all year long. It's going to start February 12th when we debut our brand new Brickbeard's Water Sports Stunt Show, which I am very, very excited about because it's the return of the iconic ski show to Lake Eloise.
I can't wait. Will there be a pyramid? Will there be a human pyramid?
I can confirm there will be a human pyramid.
Awesome.
There will be ski jumps and tricks and stunts.
Yes.
And even for the first time, we're going to have a flyboard act. So we're taking things to new heights on Lake Eloise, and it's going to be such a fun show. And that debuts on February 12th, 2021. And that same weekend, we're going to debut our brand new Pirate Fest Weekends event to coincide with the opening of the show. And that'll happen for a few weekends, February into March. We also have the return of Lego Friends Weekend. We have a brand new 4D show debuting in the spring. We have new models being installed into Lego City to add even more bricks to Legoland Florida. And here's the best part for Floridians and those who visit Florida during the summer, we're adding shade to Miniland. So,
Wow. How are you putting canopies over the walkways? How is that going to work?
We're still getting into the details of that, but I can just say there will be shade and it will be much cooler as you walk through Miniland, enjoying all of the Lego scenes from around the country.
That's fantastic. Because I could spend half a day just looking at those buildings if it wasn't for the fact that I'm melting in the sun.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That'll be great.
We're also going to be adding a brand new Master Model Builder workshop experience. So you'll be able to see up close how models are put together with Lego bricks. And we're excited to be able to show that process off. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a birthday without cake. So on October 15th, 2021, you'll be able to find the largest Lego birthday cake ever created at Legoland Florida for the 10th birthday.
I'm sure it will look better than Magic Kingdom's 25th anniversary birthday cake castle.
Oh man,
That's exciting. It's. I mean, we all have plenty of reasons to look forward to 2021, but it's good to see the theme parks making a big comeback next year.
Yeah, no, we're very excited to be able to get back to some sort of semblance of normalcy and be able to offer so many new things throughout the year, from new shows to just new experiences in the park and new models. Like every month there's going to be something new to see or experience at Legoland Florida Resort, and we highly recommend you grab an annual pass. In fact, if you want to right now, you can get our new Play and Party Pass, and that is at a throwback price of $99. The same price our first annual pass was in 2011 you can get right now and enjoy our 10th birthday celebration.
That's a great deal. I might have to put some miles on my brand new car driving down to see you guys.
There you go. We want people to come experience Legoland Florida together as a family, and we're turning 10, so we want you guys to be 10 too. If you're there with your kids, be a kid again. Enjoy the time with your family and just go crazy.
Go crazy. Everything is awesome over at Legoland Florida.
With a Kermit.
I can picture a video now. Seth dresses like a 10-year-old, goes to Legoland, acts like a 10-year-old, and eats nothing but sweets and candy all day. And
you're describing a typical weekend. What's the problem? What's the problem here?
Maybe just different attire. I picture like 1980s Disney TV specials. But thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was so good to see you again. I hope
Great
you
seeing
guys
you.
listening and watching were surprised. We wanted to surprise you. So we didn't say anything about him showing up. You never know when a wild Banks Lee will appear.
Could be lurking around any corner.
Well, see, chat, that's the secret. I've actually been in the green room for the past 3 weeks, and they just decided to finally put me on now. I guess they had time.
Well, we had to bump you for Jason Sorrell.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel
if
like
you
Matt
watched
Damon here.
that episode.
Yeah.
Woof.
You guys know I love you. I love everyone out there in the chats. We definitely will see you guys very, very soon because we got more stuff that we're excited about at Legoland Florida. So stay tuned.
I'm itching to get back to Orlando once everything has cooled down. So I guarantee you will see me bothering you to hang out.
Oh, it's going to happen.
We have to play Pokemon together too. You promised.
Yes. When I get some time, I will get into my game.
Yes.
Because, things.
So before we go, I have a few listener thank yous to share. Now, if you don't know, Attractions Magazine has a subscription platform with 3 levels that you can choose based on your interests: basic, club, or VIP. And if you choose club or VIP, you get your name shouted out on the podcast the week after you subscribe. So this week, we would like to shout out Ruth Rosen. Thank you so much for subscribing. And Destinations with Character Travel. Thank you so much for supporting Attractions Magazine and the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you would like to continue to support us, our fall 2020 issue of Attractions Magazine is available now at attractionsmagazine.com/store. And we're working on the winter issue, so keep an eye out for that.
There's a really great review of Pirate Island Hotel at Legoland, Florida in the issue. I highly recommend you check it out.
Oh.
I don't trust that author.
Might be a bit biased these days. But before we go, if Banks, we'll start with you. If you
Yes.
tell everyone where they can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me on Twitter at Banksley, on Instagram at Disney Goofball, and all of the Legoland Florida social medias at Legoland Florida on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube.
And Seth.
You have even more than I do. Wow. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and all those others at skuberski or at the UG series and at theunofficialguides.com.
And you can find me at Brittany Tuttle. That's BRITTANITUTTLE. Yes, it's spelled funny on Twitter and Instagram every day at attractionsmagazine.com, at Attractions on Twitter, at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, and of course, youtube.com/attractionsmagazine, where you're watching this if you're hanging out while we're recording right now. We're waving at you. Hi. And until next week, I hope you guys stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, but most of all, have fun.
Fun.
Bye.
Next
Elbow
week.
bump.
Elbow bump. Boom.
Bye, everybody.